Rahul.
Go on, Ms. Narayan.
Can I please reply to that very serious question that you asked, because I think it is something that we need to answer very clearly. In the case of nuclear, let me just take the case of oil in the US, and your viewers will understand what I'm saying. When the Exxon Valdez case happened in the US, many of us will remember, there was a similar oil spill. A lot of damage happened off the coast of Alaska. Exxon Valdez ended up paying $1 billion. This was 2 years after Bhopal. So at some level what we are saying is that in the Exxon Valdez case, the oil company paid double of what Union Carbide paid for maiming and killing thousands of people. That's one part of the story. But the second part of the story is that because of the Exxon Valdez case, the US capped the liability in the case of another oil disaster. Now what is happening is in the Gulf of Mexico, they are finding that because of that cap on oil liability, on the liability on oil companies, BP will not have to pay the economic costs of the damages that it has caused. So President Obama is now working with the Senate to get rid of the cap on liability, because he recognizes today that he will need to get his farmers compensated for the cost of the damages that BP has caused. Okay. This is exactly the case with nuclear. If we want nuclear to happen, we must be willing to pay the cost of the unknown accident of the future. Insurance companies will charge the premium. It will have to be paid. That will be the cost of energy that you and I will have to pay for. Don't forget it.
Okay, I want to just tell our viewers very quickly that approximately $40,000 was spent on the rehabilitation of every sea otter affected by the Alaska oil spill. Each sea otter was given rations of lobsters costing $500 per day. Thus, the life of an Indian citizen in Bhopal was much cheaper than that of a sea otter in America. If the amount of $470 million distributed amongst all the victims of the Bhopal gas tragedy is divided, each person got $200. Sea otters were given rations costing $500 per day. I want to listen, Mr. Akbar, just once to Barack Obama, President of the United States, speaking on this whole matter of the oil spill, which we are discussing right now. A very quick, short reaction. Listen to what he's saying, and then we'll take the debate from there.
I was down there a month ago, before most of these talking heads were even paying attention to the Gulf. A month ago I was meeting with fishermen down there, standing in the rain talking about what a potential crisis this could be. And I don't sit around just talking to experts because this is a college seminar. We talk to these folks because they potentially have the best answers, so I know who's asked to kick.
Listen to that very carefully, and that's important. I want to know from the experts who's asked to kick. That is President Barack Obama on the record, not mincing words, over a BP oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico. And over here, 20,000 people have died, and not a single word from our Prime Minister.
The only thing we are interested in who's asked to protect. That's what's going on in this country. And let's be very clear about it. You know, I said this in the beginning, I said this, I'll say this again. There are just not two laws, one for American citizens and one for Indian citizens, one for American otters and one for Bhopal citizens. We also have two laws within our country, that one for the rich and one for the poor.
Dr. Bedi, Barack Obama there saying, I want to know from the experts who's asked to kick, because what happened is not acceptable.
We suffer from a slave mentality.
Yeah.
This is a slave mentality, where the junior toes the line of the senior, even when he knows the senior is dishonest and corrupt. He still, to save his own job. It's a slave mentality. It's obedience mentality. It's not one of self-confidence. It's not one of self-esteem. And over a period, the way we've administered, the way we've governed, I think we've encouraged slave mentality, and we've bred insecurity.